Welcome to Drawdown Toronto's Just Eat It Food Waste Challenge. My name is Erin Andrews. I am the Executive Director of Impact Zero, and we've partnered with Drawdown Toronto to help present these weekly interviews with industry experts for you to hear a little bit about their story and what they're working on. So this week's theme is planning. So we'll learn about the benefits of pre-planning meals and making shopping lists. To help provide the greater context of this topic, we have Karina. She works as a public civil servant by day, and in her free time, she is a passionate member of a local environmental community. She's a volunteer on the core team of Drawdown Toronto and is the creator of the soon-to-be-launched Wasteless app. Just so the viewers know, Project Drawdown lays out a comprehensive plan of how to reverse climate change. So they quantify all of the different solutions, both financially and from a carbon perspective. And I think that's what got me personally so excited to collaborate with the local Toronto chapter. And I want to know, Karina, a little bit more about how Drawdown also inspired you, because you're part of their core volunteer team and you're doing so much work in the food waste space. So because Project Drawdown has a long list of solutions to tackle climate change, what inspired you to focus on the solution of specifically reducing food waste?
Hi, everybody. Yes, I have been volunteering with Drawdown Toronto for past couple of years, and I am amazed at, the number of things that you and I can do in terms of taking climate action. It is actually astonishing. But if you look at the list itself, right at the top, number 3 and 4 are the solutions that are related to food, and they are very easy. Anybody can reduce their food waste. And if we were to combine solution number 3 and solution number 4, that would present a greatest potential for reducing greenhouse gas emissions on a consumer level. And if you think about this, you don't have to own a wind farm or solar panels, but just trying to minimize your food waste will bring a lot of impact in your day-to-day life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome. And so knowing that this is like such a huge way to reduce individuals' impact, I want to know like a little bit more about how you got started with wasteless food and what led you to create that. I mean, you work full time. This is like a really big side project to have going on. So what was that process like?
Right. Well, when I was growing up, my grandparents always said, finish your food. You have to finish everything that is on your plate. And mind you, now that I think back about this, they actually did portion control. So they would not give me, too much on my plate that I couldn't finish, or I'm sure everybody can relate to this, but they would not give you certain sweets or treats if you haven't finished your meal. So I think I have actually grown up knowing that food is a great resource and we need to be mindful of it. And when I moved to Canada, I have noticed that food waste is a bigger issue here. And I saw an opportunity in this realm. I think just bringing attention to this topic has a huge impact, and nudging people, friends and family, to even be mindful of this problem is something that will hopefully make them change their habits. And it's pretty easy to do. Wasteless Food actually started as an Instagram page where I started sharing tips and tricks for reusing or using leftovers and using some ingredients, even local ingredients, locally grown food. And then I went on to different things like planning meals or providing some ideas on shopping lists and doing an inventory of food items that you can find in your fridge and pantry. It's actually still in the works, but we had 2 iterations of the app, and it's shaping up to be a tool with different features.
Awesome. And can you tell us a little bit more about that? Like how did you go kind of from, I guess, Instagram to this app, and how does the app work? Like how does it help push that that initiative that you started on Instagram? And how does that kind of translate into the app and the services that are on there?
Yes, so I was very fortunate to be able to work with groups of volunteer developers. It started off as a project. It started off as a side project where I would come home and jot down some ideas regarding food waste on a piece of paper, and I would have these meetings with volunteer developers, and we would brainstorm things that could be done in this realm. So some of the features were actually created by the team of developers, and some of the features were realized by myself and in conversation with the team of developers. We thought about having a shopping list so that people can take it on their with their phone and go to the store and not buy an extra 5 pounds of carrots, knowing that they still have enough carrots at home. And then we thought about having an inventory list of all existing food items that they will have consumers have at home, so that at any time you can see it on the app and decide whether or not you want to cook with existing ingredients, whether or not you need to eat it, utilize, or cook with it within a certain period of time, or you would maybe need to buy you would need to buy a few more ingredients for your next meal.
Interesting. So it kind of helps with like the management then of the food that you already have and then the shopping list that you're going out to get.
Yes, it's a planning tool. I describe it in different ways, but basically it is a planning tool for your food habits. It's for cooking and for shopping, for food. It's we try to encompass as many features related to prevention of food waste as possible, and therefore it has different components, starting with I try to actually follow the circle economy concept, starting with the need, and then having an inventory of what you have, and then planning for your next meal, be it going to a store or thinking about utilizing existing ingredients. And actually, one last step is to calculate your greenhouse gases emissions. So the app will calculate the amount of GHGs that the user will save over a certain period of time. Let's say
That's
a month.
really interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you
that's
will be able to see how much you saved with this
really
app.
nice. I love that. And like it makes it so much easier for consumers. I mean, I try to be mindful about all of that like food waste and like what I'm buying versus what I have, but sometimes it's hard. So like having that as like an all-encompassing resource or tool to have, no matter where you are, that's like super key. I love it. So I've never made an app before. I don't think a lot of people have. So what was that process like, trying to develop something in your free time with volunteers? Like what did you learn? What was the process like?
Right. Well, I'm a first-time app developer, and I have learned a lot and still learning. Um, it's the biggest takeaway is collaboration, and I am a big believer in the fact that ideas come from everywhere, and people contribute those ideas, and if they're willing to bring it to a fruition, to the reality, it is all that matters. Um, so a few of the team members were actually all of the team members were very passionate about the environment and the topic of food waste. And even though they did not know many facts when they started, um, they were very enthusiastic about building something that doesn't exist and bringing it to potentially as many people as possible. And that, I think that passion is what moved the project along. And it took a year and it's still in the process, but it is growing, and we are hoping to release it in 2021. Currently, we are looking for beta testers, and anyone who wants to get involved or give feedback and help out in some way, please send me a message on Instagram or Facebook, or send me an email at hello@wastelessapp.co.
Amazing. I was just gonna say, how can people contact you? And you already covered it, so that's perfect.
Yay!
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Karina, for joining us this week, for the Just Eat It challenge. It was really great chatting with you.
My pleasure. And I just wanted to add that food waste is a low-hanging fruit,
Mm.
um, pun intended, and anyone can do it. We all eat multiple times a day, and we can all make a difference with the food that we eat.
Absolutely. And when Wasteless Food app is out, then people can download it and get going on their
That's
planning.
right.
Like that's so key. Planning is it. I love it. Well, thank you so, so much. And for the viewers, if you would like to follow up or follow along, I should say, with the rest of the Just Eat It Food Waste Challenge, you can learn more at our website. When I say our, I mean Drawdown's website. It's www.drawdowntoronto.ca/food-waste-challenge. And we will see you next week.